Hi, beautiful ones. It's Audrey, light language, soul architect, and energy engineer. I haven't spoke to you in quite some time. I don't know, maybe October, before October, November, something like that. I have so many automatic writing messages to share with all of you, and I've been so busy, so I haven't had an opportunity to do so. So I just got back from the New Life Expo at the beautiful Wyndham Hotel New Yorker here in the city, Manhattan, and I'm back home now, so I just figured I would talk to you guys and fill you in to keep a watch out for the automatic writing messages that I'm going to be bringing through to read to all of you. But I know there's so much a buzz about the event, you know, and people have been talking about this actually since 2013, you know, and now the event, you know. So I posted up a little something that someone else was talking about, that Spirit moved her to talk about, and we're just saying, like, calm down, you know, it's okay, you know, don't be in fear, just get through it, you know, whatever. So my take on all this is, you know, from when I was levitated and turned on, right, like 6-7 years ago, to do the work that I do in the field as a weaver of codes and for creation, Mother Gaia had written a message through automatic writing that I had shared. If you go back and you can find it, was saying that Mother Gaia is awaiting the arrival of her children, right? Because we have a certain vibration that she is, so waiting for all her children to get at that vibration, right? Because we talked about 6-7 years ago, and my writings were talking about, to share with all of you, that is this great tsunami of energies that are coming in, and that for those that did not do the work that these years, right, time within the eternal now of no time, right, but still this cycle allowed for those that would do the work and do the releasing and raising of their vibration, right? Because then for the ones that did not do the work, they said it would be as if they were picked up and plunged into a very cold body of water or pool or whatever it may be, but that shock to the system was the point. But they were saying that those that did do the work and took avail of this opportunity of this time frame, doing the work, doing the releasing, taking the codes to upgrade, yes, being of the heart and that high vibration, and again, releasing of the old, the other aspects of you, the other lives upon Gaia, and also my work releases the cosmic and multidimensional aspects of you as well, generational things, unconscious, subconscious, childhood issues. It's huge, right? Because that's why they call me soul architect now, besides Audrey light language, yes, which is the extension of the name, because this is not just a regular light language. There's so much going on here with the sacred key code numbers that I bring through, and rewriting the Akash for you as the authority that I hold as an ancient one from time before time, first wave of creation, and a coder in the field of creation itself. So this motion and movement, this evolution, is not only for you, but for all of existence. Yes, motion and movement, right? Because life cannot be stagnant. That's a contradiction to life. Life is about motion and movement. And there's a huge turning of the cycle, which is giving this opportunity to us to stand in our divine birthright, our sovereignty, a power, yes, as a Christ light, a Christhood in your kingdom, yes, as the king and the queen in the kingdom, in your divinity, your divine birthright. But that king stands in the balance of the energy, male and women, male and female, sorry, energy blended together in whatever vessel you are zipped up in, but you are both of those. Yes, and in these times, it is said through the work and the writings that I'm bringing through about, we are following the, creation is following the umbilical back, right, to the womb of the mother, right, because you have creation, source, the field, what name would you like? Yes, God, prime creator, but that wellspring of consciousness and awareness, yes, which is all those names that we speak of, yes. So from that wellspring we come, yes, to explore, to express, yes. We went into an experiment of forgetfulness to experience that which we are not, and to walk through it. So we went down, 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 down in our light, yes, density, polarity, that whole game of that, yes, walking through that which we are not, but yet we are. Yes, to understand it and know it, not in concept, but walking through it. So now we know what we are, we know what we are not, but yet we are. That's part of the isness. And then coming out of that, what a bigger picture of understanding that which we are. And so we go forth then to create a new, yes, out of the old habits, the crevasse that we've made, yes, eons and eons of time over and over again, the same energies. But to cut those ties, cut the generational lineages, cut the habits, yes, to become aware, to observe oneself, to be conscious, yes, of what is going on, release all that old, because on the soul, it's as if a diamond or a crystal, and you have all the sparkles, and all those are all the yous, right, all your lives, all the aspects of you, and also the cosmic dimensional aspects of you as well, because you now understand you're a cosmic multidimensional being. So you have all those views as well. So my work works on releasing of those old energies, yes, in your DNA, in your field, deep level, and then you take in the codes for the upgrades, yes, to be in resonance with the new frequency, because to take part in the new, you must hold that frequency, yes, that higher light that is poured back into you out of the experiment that we took part of. So beautiful ones. This is a great, great, great opportunity. And so the energies that are coming in, those that do the work, again, releasing and taking in the codes for upgrade would be, again, as one weighted in more gently, more, yes, so rather than being thrown in a cold body of water, again, unacclimated. So I hope that you will come and receive the works. Again, I did not study with anyone. I don't have to. I was levitated and turned back on, again, like I said, to bring through the codes, to bring in the work, and to assist you, to take back that which is yours, to remember, recall, join back to, yes, with that beingness that you are. You know, you want to play in the names of the game, yes, because it says a tree, and the tree has the branches and the limbs. So you are going on the branches and the limbs, where are the names of the masters, the angels, the cosmic, galactic families and such. Names, yes, all on the tree and the branches and the limbs. I take you down through the trunk to the core, the root, the base, the core of the root of that tree, which is source, because all is source. Source is game, source is experiment, source expressing itself, yes, it states I am. Thusly all bursts forth, yes, in the exploration of that I amness, and we are part of that, which, going into the forgetfulness to explore that, we forgot. So we so beautifully and lovingly went into that experiment of forgetfulness, yes, of the selfhood and our part in it. And so we went down density, lower polarity, duality, all those old paradigms, yes? And we explored them to the depths. But now it was stuck over and over, eons upon eons, the same. That created stagnation. So now there's evolution, motion, movement, right? Because life cannot be stagnant. That's a contradiction to life. So life, existence is moving, existence for all of creation. And within that, you get an opportunity to pour light back in, because I am here to quicken you. Many talk about the ascension and such, but my work and Spirit talks about is I quicken you. So you vibrate quicker. You pour the light back in so you can vibrate quicker. Many people are talking about pains and aches of ascension and such, but my clients and myself, yes, don't have this experience. It's much more gentle to work, releasing and upgrading and acclimating and going through it much more gently, because, you know, not everyone has an opportunity to be laid up somewhere and not be able to function and such. They have responsibilities, whether to their children, their families, yes. Maybe they have older parents, you know, you have to go to school meetings, you have to go to work, you have bills, mortgage, you know, many things that are going on. You can't just sequester yourself away somewhere. So, but they're still part of it and going through it. So connect with me and my work will help you so you can function. And if you're lucky enough to be able to sequester yourself away, well, then that's excellent too, because then you'll be feeling wonderful rather than pains and aches and laid up in a bed for hours. Yes, because we just don't have time for that type of thing. We're juggling, you know, many things going on in the physical world and the spiritual world. So beautiful ones. I hope you will take advantage of this. Yes, work. That comes through. You're going to have the language of light. You'll have the language of the Akash to rewrite the Akash. I rewrite it. I do not read it. Old maps, old recipes. Why do you want to do that? You want to rewrite it for the new. Also numbers. Hundreds of long list numbers that you will have downloaded to you, that you're going to write on a paper, so then you will have those numbers to read over and work with whatever you want to work with them in your life, besides when you have them in a session downloaded to you for your DNA and your field, not for potential, but for actuality of upgrading. You beautiful ones, yes? And you will be assisting your generations in the same time. It works in the unconscious, the subconscious, childhood issues. I bring in, look who I bring in. I bring in the fairies, the elementals, and I bring in the ancient ones, yes? All from that point of remembrance of the truth of that which they are. Now, recently I had Metatron come, and Metatron was saying to me that it was made that agreement that he would be working with me. And he says to me, I go so fast, right? Because I'm for the quickening. I'm here to quicken you. Go very, very quickly. Usually, as you see my work, I speak very quick, going very quick because I'm the tip of the spear to get to that point. Yes, a bushwhacker, one who makes the way. So, because I'm in here with authority, I go forth and do what needs to get done. Yes, with codes and affecting many things on a multiple of levels. Yes, even I had done work recently, and one of the women who was witnessing said, oh my goodness, Audrey, you were actually giving codes of those in the galactics and the galaxies and cosmos who are listening and are receiving the codes because they're even too high for humanity to receive yet. And I'm like, yes, I know. And so that was what I was doing. Or someone else was saying, oh my goodness, you brought codes forth which are going to be even that they can't use them now because they're not ready them for about 10 years from now. They're going to be set in the field so they can, just as I did 6-7 years ago when I was turned on to do the work as well. I don't have to travel somewhere and be there. I do it right from here, the galaxies, Gaia, what is needed. So now this is the thing. Metatron was saying go slower because it's like a train pulling into the station, and I was so quick, and he said slow down so they can actually see the train and get on the train. Yeah, so this is an opportunity. The names that you're familiar with, Michael, Mary, the Magdalene, Metatron, all the angels and the masters and such, yes, they're here and I work with them, but I work with that, the base of that tree, the root of the tree, and the understanding that is all source. They are all source sipped up, yes, and their expressions of it in those ways they are on the stage to play the game out, yes? But now, beautiful ones, it is time to remember you are the work of art, and you are the master and the masterpiece, one and the same. If there is a master and he is a painter, does he have his canvas and his paints with his paintbrushes and waits to someone to come by and say, excuse me, but where should I put this color? Should I put a little dark, a little lighter? How is that being a master? It's not. If the sculptor would say, should I put more, should I take less off the sculpture? Or a weaver to say, what color thread should I put on my weave? Then that would be, no longer would that master be the master, yes, and the masterpiece, because it has another's influence upon it. So this is why now it is time for you to learn to understand you are the master and the masterpiece, one and the same. Throw away the crutches and the training wheels, yes, and begin to stand in your power. You think there's always somebody or something greater than you, and you want to play small, but that was in the time of forgetfulness. And now it is for you to remember that which you are, your divinity and expression, yes, consciousness, the field of consciousness, that you have the gift of conscious and awareness. You come from that pool of consciousness, yes. Another name for God, source, prime creator, the field. So it's time for you to remember that and stand in your mastery, stand in your kingship, queenship, blended male and female energy together to take your kingship back. Yes, reign in your kingdom of yourself and out to all others. When you stand in that kingship, as if you are standing in your Christhood, your Christ-light, being a Christed being, not concepts and ideals that are held, but walking in your beingness and of the heart. Many talk about, oh, they come in and they say to me, they will say to you about your joy and your purpose. Yes, and Source comes in and Source speaks to you. Yes, Source speaks to you to say to you, what is more joyful or more purpose-filled than to remember that you and I are one and the same. Remember, yes, remember, as joined meant back to, remembered, a member, or putting back, recalled, called back to yourself that which you are in remembrance, out of the experiment of forgetfulness, yes? So, this is a great, huge turning of a cycle of an opportunity that's going to be had for you. My work spirit says, come and receive the work because I give you the codes, the keys, the sacred key code numbers, and all this information and work that is downloaded to you beyond English. I'm speaking to English to you so you can get it. Many listen and they say we write down the numbers and such, and that's great, but you know what? It's not individual for you. Come receive the work. Come have it personalized for you. Yes, do the exchange. It's not phenomenal like a lot of people are having out there, so you can access it because these are important times, yes? There, again, I said, Mother Gaia was saying, waiting the arrival of the children because this big tsunami of energies that's coming, and so that you can become acclimated to it, right? So we're at the same point of what people are talking about, the event and all of this, you see? coronal ejections and all this type of thing. But again, the important thing is for you to get together with yourself. Yes, many of the other aspects of yourself that you will affect with this work, to cleanse, clear, and release. It's an opportunity that's being given to you. They talk about how the exit sign is over the doorway in your world. And they said, where's the exit sign? Over the doorway. So go, take the keys and the codes, receive them, open the door, turn the key in the lock, yes, and walk through it. Over the threshold as in a doorway, and threshold as in a barrier to break through. You see, beautiful ones? So, Source, God is saying, I speak to you, straight to you, out of forgetfulness, to remember. And yet, if we call the name to say it is Michael, it is Metatron, it is some other name of my many names and all names that I am and no names, and then you go and you run. If we say it is the Holy Spirit or this one or that one, and I say to you, yes, Source says, I am the one of all those things of motion and movement and existence from me that I am. I speak to you when you do not hear me and understand me, again as if in the day when you do not see, you do not hear. But yet I speak to you directly, so you no longer play small and you can remember and understand. And yet if it was to say this one or that one is there, then you come and you listen and you go. And you were drawn to it, because what are you so familiar with? But we say it is me, it is I am you and you are me. We are one and the same, if for you to remember that. See, the Holy Spirit is say, I am the Holy Spirit, of which is the motion and movement of that. There is the all that is, yes, the Mother and Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, so to say. The Son is in representation of the physicality of all the aspects of myself. You, yes, the sons, the daughters, the beingness, the expression of the Mother and Father and all that is. Yes, and the Holy Spirit that is that which moves through that. And so, beautiful one, I work directly with Source rather than the players on the stage, in the field, on the limbs of the trees and the branches, yes? Because the Source is the one of why all those are in existence, playing the games on the multiple levels that they are. But again, it is the writing of, closing up the book of the same of the old over and over, yes? To end that and to go and write anew. The old stage being cleared, the new stage being set, and then you could be a part of that, of being in resonance with that. True free will is what you have to say this, because that's a whole other story. But anyway, the true free will, God's and Source says that as you get opportunity now to pick, this is the time to make a decision. Yes, it is the time of was the time of the great forgetting, the experiment of forgetting. Yes, but now it's the time of remembering. Yes, rejoining back together. They're forgetting what was. Yes. Yet again, another forgetting, but to then remember. My work is about control, alt, delete, they say. Take control, make the alterations, delete the old, reboot to the new, not the old. It's the Butterfly Phoenix Project to assist you to come out of that cocoon and be that great butterfly, yes, and the phoenix that raised from the ashes, right? As you go forth, transformed, transfigured. So this is your choices, yes? Will you be transformed and transfigured? The light poured into you as if your Christhood represents the Christ body. Christ had even said, as I so do, so shall you all do even more than I have done. Well, these are these times, beautiful ones, yes? Christ is not calling all the other names for you. Christ understood, yes, that selfhood with God, Source, the field and the connection to that. And where did Christ say? To go here, to go there, this holy place, that holy place. Call this name, call that. No, he said to go here. Within you, the kingdom of heaven is within, yes? It has me remember probably a story about how there was a great flood or something, and these people were there, and they were in such a situation. They were up on the roof, and they were hoping to get help, and they're praying to God to help them, and along comes a rowboat, and the people say, "Get, come in the rowboat," and they stay on the roof. No, 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 God's going to save us. And I don't remember the whole story, but then it's like, oh, then a helicopter comes, and the helicopter wants to put down a ladder and have them take up, and they go, no, 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 God's going to save us. And then all these things leave, and then they don't make it, and they pass on, and then they're like, well, God, what happened? You didn't save us. And God said, who do you think send the rowboat, and who do you think send the helicopter? So you see, it is the same thing. I am speaking to you through this one. I am. You are. You say, how can she do this? Yes. How does she do this so easily? Because she understands and remembers that she is that of I am. She is the expression, while all of you are expression of me. Do you understand? The name that has all names and no names, that is all that is. You are yourself in many aspects, multidimensional aspects, cosmic beings as well, many aspects of you, all parts and story and expressions of the selfhood, source, God and expression, to know itself as all that it is, consciousness being aware of itself, yes, consciousness exploring and expressing itself. So beautiful ones, when you speak about awaken and such, this one is here to quicken you, pour the light back in, so you stand in your divine sovereignty, your birthright, take that back, yes? To remember, to be, you are the master and the masterpiece, one and the same, and to go forth and create a new, for I am you and you are me. Yes, and we go forth and we dance a new dance. Shall we dance in this beautiful new creation? Yes, through life that we are dancing, beautiful ones. All right, guys, that's back me, and that was Source God speaking to you through me. And so people will say, how come you don't meditate? How come you don't pull this in? It's because I am from first wave of creation and turn back on, yes, to do the work and the remembrance of that from time before time and such. So I don't need to do all those things, yes, because it is I am it, you are it, yes. So to get back to that place of remembrance of that, beautiful ones, and to create from there. Okay, so I hope that you will come. Some of those things I was sharing about some of the automatic writings. We're talking beautiful dreamers. There was another one, Waken to Thee, that's up on YouTube already. Because before, as we slept, we were sleeping in forgetfulness, the message says, which then things were birth of nightmares, yes, which is the polarity, the duality, all of that. But now they say no more of that, that we will wake from the dream and actually be like lucid dreamers. So you're empowered in the dream. You know you were dreaming, control in the dream, and make a new creation, yes? And so that is what the new day and all of this and that is happening is what is going on. Many out there still sleep. Yeah, and they have no idea. But that is why, you see, when they entered into the experiment of forgetfulness, creator beings they are, as all are creator beings, yes, through Source, having the gift of creation and abilities, yes, to express through. And they played, and they got stuck. And those things that entered so much in forgetfulness and played their parts, yes, so far from the light, that they fed off other forces to sustain themselves. And the things that were stuck, and they ate off your emotions and the sadness and manipulations, and all of this being lost upon themselves, within themselves, to themselves, of what they truly are. Source and expression is part of the experiment. They played a forgetfulness and lowering the light. But it's been written in the book of life. So it is not to repeat the same over and over and over and over and over. Have you done eons and eons of time? Yes? Of existence, so to say. Cycle is no time. It's cycle upon cycle. So now you close the book on that. Yes? Tie up the loose ends, so to say. Cut those energetic ties over and over that you've perpetuated. No longer feed others. No longer play by others' agendas. Yes? But to feed yourself, sustain and nurture yourself when you drink from the wellspring. Yes, Source, God, consciousness, expression. If you want to think of it as an ocean, and you go and you take couplets of water and droplets of the water, you see, it is all one thing. It is still the ocean of that water, yes? It is the same, but it is the ocean of consciousness, so to say. Awareness, and each of you is a droplet of that. Yes, upon the field of consciousness and awareness, yes, that you are a droplet of that, expressing in your uniqueness, yes, and bringing forth all your beautiful gifts as a beautiful, unique masterpiece unto yourself, but all of Source and expression, beautiful ones. And this is what the new will be about, where one will honor and realize and recognize the selfhood, the source and the expression of another and their beautiful uniqueness. And so you'll know the other is you, and you will respect that and honor that. And that is part of the new day. And there you have the open-heartedness, yes? Not in the mind limitations, but of the heart, of the truth and the way. Also, another way to look at it is perhaps to say is that there's many paths of potentialities as the beings of light. Again, in a session, you could speak with the beings of light, high vibration being. That's not their name. Their energy signature is their stamp. Their signature is their name. And you could speak with them, yes? So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing when you get to even speak to the beings of light. So there's so much to talk about. And my mind is woo, because so much to make these points to you, because it's so important. You want to continue to be a sheep or a shepherd on a different level, but yet still being a sheep or a puppet or one you think is greater and higher than you, rather than standing and understanding and remembering that you are a creative beingness from Source. Yes, to say that consciousness, droplets of the consciousness and expression. Sorry, then we'll go back to the point that I was saying. This has the many paths of potentiality, yes? So those ones which they tell you of the future points or moments, which are now actually the past. Because we have come, so to say, from the future as time travelers to come here to this eternal now moment, to affect this eternal now moment, which then changes the future moment, opens up potentialities, yes? So now there is a new future potential that is made, and the old future is past. Do you understand? But there's no time, but they all affect each other. This eternal now moment from here, you doing the work, affecting yourself and all the other aspects of yourself, is then how you create new future, new potentialities to go down, and that old future that was is no more. Yes, because it wasn't that great when we come from it. So tie that all up. We've done that. Duality, polarity. And it's on to the new creation. So beautiful ones, again, I hope you will come and receive the work. Hummingbird1211@gmail.com to let me know that you want to schedule an appointment. And then you can go to my site, audreylightlanguagechannel.wordpress.com, to go on the contact page, and there's a donate button there to do the exchange. And also March 25th, I'm going to be doing a call. I do a call like once a month, so if you want to join that, Hummingbird 1211 for the information of how to join that. And again, do you want to play on the field by those names that you're familiar with calling, or you want to understand that all of them emanate from Source, as so do you? Yes, beautiful ones, different expressions of it. So go to the wellspring, the point, yes, go to the well of consciousness, go to the well of awareness and expression in life, yes, that point of the root of the tree, which all the rest springs from. Where do you want to still play on a level of that? Because either you will stand in your kingship, your Christhood, the light poured back into you, transformed, transfigured, resurrected to the new vibration, the new you. Yes, are there any Cro-Magnon men around? No. Why? Because we evolved, and now we're this, you see. So, in that, to be the evolved beingness, yes, and to remember you're part of the beingness, and to be it in your being, yes, then do and lost spinning in the wheels, yes, over and over, but to become aware, conscious, to observe yourself and make new motions and movement in resonance with the new, and do the work and commitment to getting these things done. That's why they call me, again, a soul architect, to help release those old energies, blockages held, and go into the Akash to rewrite it for you, so you have a new creation to take part of. Don't hold to those things. Oh, fear and darkness. Yes, you walk through it in the worthiness of it and the value of it. Beautiful ones, that was before. That was why the forgetting and the experiment into that birth forth those things. Yes, some of nightmares, birth, and forgetfulness, but all of that to walk through. And that's why they say there was a value in it, because at the time there was, but it is no more. All you have been stuck and looping over and over again. So it is to get out of that, because all that does is feed that creation, those creations, yes, to eat off and sustain themselves. So no longer that, like I said, no more. Closing that up, the book on that, yes. To those who would say to you that still are in the old, and there is no more of that, is to close the book on that and go to the new creation, which you remember that which you are, and create beautiful, beautiful things from that remembrance of that which you are. So here we go, beautiful ones. Ashemetude veno seyanane veno perterumane veno son seyanane hana enum 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 isanatutu uma iame ia ashakaka shakakutu ishkut esasa shiri unevonese inaneum isapa ish ima eva ia ese ish ese shiri ashasha. Now the fairies Evoa, mon cher. Evoa. The fairies come to touch the inner child. And then you have the galactics, those clicking sounds to do the work up there. And also the numbers. And I don't want to roll numbers for you right now, because then people starting to write them. And when they write them and they're going about and thinking, that's good enough for them. And yeah, it is good. But the thing is then personalize it for your numbers, where you're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100 numbers long that are your codes personally, that are set for you, for the things of your soul. Yes, that have been blockages and things that are in there and you're carrying with you, and the new upgrades to be part of. Yes, so that's the decision. So either to bring the light into you, transform, transfigured in that way as the Christ being that you are walking, or then you shall be absorbed back into the old that is, because that is what you are, to be made anew in that way. So those would be your choices, And if you do the work, as we said, it would be as you waited in, rather than to be shocked. And that's why so many people get pains and aches or not feeling well, because again, to be acclimated, release the old, acclimated to the new. Okay, so I am bringing you Source as a divine channel, not another character that play in the game. If you're familiar with those names, understand and know that those names are Source. So yes, they are present, but as you are graduating, so to say, there's no more childhood games or even adolescence. You see, this is entering adulthood to understand the truths, yes, and what is really going on and happening. But in that adulthood then, yes, and being responsible and understanding and knowing the truths and such, and being responsible and both joyful, though, as a child, to touch the child and the innocence of that and the wonder of that and the magic of that, but not recklessly, so to say, but in the adult touching that inner child, which is so beautiful and innocent. You could see wonder and beauty, and return to that being magical, children that could create so many beautiful things, but responsibly, yes, and again in the adulthood and the responsibleness of that, but in the innocence as a child, so to say. And so that's why, like they say, Jesus would say, come to me as children and such, was that innocence, that beauty, that wonder, but then yet being the responsible king standing in his kingdom. What kind of king looks out his kingdom and at his own self, which is his own self kingdom, and out to the rest of the kingdom, and so many are hurt and maimed and all these things that are happening and going on and not flourishing good? What type of king is that? For the kingdom of your own self that you look at, and out to the kingdom, yes? But that's the old king, the old ways, the story, the experiment, duality, polarity, right? The old paradigms, which is to be no more of. Because now in the new king, when that king looks out to the kingdom, to his own kingdom, yes, the king, the queen, balance. So we just say kingship is representation of divinity, royalty, standing in your beingness as divine being, a spark of divinity. Your kingdom of yourself, also out to existence, is a kingdom that is one of bounty, abundance, joy, wonder, happy, fulfilled, being in caliber. You see, that is what it is, the creation, when the creation knows and remembers what it is out of the experiment, and that is where we're going. So shall you be in resonance with it, beautiful ones. And again, not concepts and ideals that are only held, you see. Not we shall meditate or we shall touch it here and there, you see. Then you go back to being what you're being. But transformation, transfiguration, resurrection, pouring the light back in you. So you're actually being it in the walk that you are walking of your beingness. Okay, beautiful one. And this is straight from God. Speaking to you before, bringing this through. So we hope that you will see and you will hear. Because yet as eons and eons and eons of turning of the cycle, and yet you do not see and you do not hear. There's no coincidence why you're hearing this. So we say to you that it cannot be said that you did not know, you did not see, you did not hear, because you are. So stand in your knowingness and truth, that these times of your being in embodiment are availing you, that you can take the opportunity and the choice of, because all is source. There's nothing else but sources, beingness, the selfhood that you are part of. So where would you be in alignment with? The new creation that is going to be birthed forth and is being birthed forth and part of, or the old? Yes, extinction or evolution, and being in being in resonance, with that. So come and be quickened. Yes, come receive the work, and I hope that I'll be meeting you and talking to you and sharing with you, and I don't know, and look forward for some of those writings. But again, so important. Have the session and the work, and much love, beautiful ones. Okay, and hopefully I'll be talking to you soon. I've been busy, and it's been quite some time since I was able to talk to you. But I'm just leaving you, which was supposed to be just a quick message, but now I've talked to you for about more than a half an hour or so. So I hope it will sink in, because I'm not speaking light language or numbers or the Akash, which usually you see me, but I'm speaking to you in English, so you cannot say that you didn't get it, or you don't understand, or she speaks too quickly, because then I would say listen to it again, because his truth and his energy being birthed forth upon you. Even though English is contaminated, I'm speaking truths to you so you can understand and say, oh, what is she saying? What is she talking about if I speak numbers or Akash language or light language? So I'm speaking in English so you can get it very plainly, And I hope whatever questions or things that you would like to work through, you will come and receive the work. Because again, in human embodiment, over and over, it's the same thing. My abundance, my loves, my fears, my anguish, my pains, all of the stories over and over again. We've done it over and over, tape, looping, 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 yes? And again, you want to do it, which is a bit of a distraction, yes? So it's not that now to be part of, to be distracted. It's for part to understand your embodiment so you can take avail of this and advantage of this. The deep cleansing and clearing at the soul level and the releasing and taking in the upgrades and be part of the new creation out of the old. Because stagnation has occurred from that. That's a contradiction to life. And that's why this huge turning of a cycle is occurring. So we get out of the stagnation and go forth and create anew. Okay. Much love. Talk to you soon. Big hug.